Hello, Writing Rangers. Welcome back to day 5. One of my favorite jokes. This has been a family favorite for all 3 kids. What do you call an alligator in a vest? An investigator. All right. Anyhow, moving on. We made it to day 5. Great job. This is an interesting point in the camp because campers many of them have wrapped up their stories. You are starting to move into that reread and revise stage of the writing process. You are also going to move into a bit of a break from the ebook ranger because they are going to start working with campers on the actual making of the book. On the first day of the second week is when campers will get their iPads. It's when they start to storyboard and sort of more emphasis comes on the visual and actual making of the book, which means that a lot of that revising and editing and making sure this is a really great story that the camper can be proud of is going to happen in your class. And so as you move into the second week of camp, I want you just to start to think about that. And in your prep time, work with that ebook ranger to look for campers whose stories need some help, pull in your adventure guides, and just use your resources as best you can, as week 2 just flies by. So anyhow, day 5, the theme of the day is Said is Dead, which is about word choice. It's going back through your writing and finding overused words to replace and also looking for opportunities to use more specific words. So what do you need to do today? Well, we are going to have campers learn alternatives to the word said. We'll have them go back through and replace the word said from their drafts. And if time allows, we'll have them look for other overused words to replace. The big culprit is the verb to go. Oh, he went to the store, he went to this, he went to that. Guess what? There are resources we have in the camper workbook, lists that they can refer to help make their language more exciting. What you need to prepare in advance, have your phone ready to pull up that Chicken Little story. Really nice one for all the different ways you can say said and a good listening activity, a little different. Then, as I mentioned, work with your ebook ranger to figure out if there's anyone that you need to, in particular, give a little extra attention to. Prep for the what is that game. You just have to have some sort of object, a ruler, a stapler, a coffee mug that you're going to pretend is something other than what it is. It's a brain break. And grab some butcher paper from your site administrator and cut that into at least 5 sheets that are poster size, because if you've got time, your upper grades are going to be able to create some word walls for other overused words and synonyms. So you can start to paste that around your room to decorate. What are we going to do in here? So let's talk a little bit about how to teach this lesson. The first activity is coming in and taking some sentences from the book, Rivals and Rhyme, but writing them on the board with said. So after a frustrating hour, I said, I'm frustrated. Maybe working as a team is not such a good idea. But what we actually said was frustratedly exclaimed. So if you put said in there, then you can kind of show what the actual book was, what was written, and talk about the differences. So campers just are able to see how more precise words sound better. Then have them play Chicken Little. This is a fun activity because you'll want to have them raise their hand whenever they hear a synonym for the word said, and then have your adventure guide, or you can write those words on the board. And at the end of that, you can have them open up their camper workbooks and go back here to this page that is describing how people talk. These are all sorts of synonyms for the word said. And you can then write down what other words can you think of? Anything you guys captured from that Chicken Little story that's not here, go ahead and write it down, and anything else the campers can think of is great. Then heading back to our lesson plans, you're going to move on to a brain break, which was that Energizer. This is then going into that thesaurus activity. So you'll want to build in some time for campers to go and replace said from their drafts. For the little guys, you may need to use that second half of your excursion, kind of those 15 minutes, to go through and do that, and just to, in general, finish up some of their drafting. If your upper kids have made a little more progress and they get through it more quickly, then what I would do is introduce the word to go and have them start to brainstorm other words for to go, and then move into an activity where you give them some overused words. Nice, good, bad, interesting. That was so interesting. Satisfying. These are some overused words that kids will use. So what you do is you're going to have them write that word, or you can write that word on the top of that piece of butcher paper, and then give them time to think of as many synonyms as possible. They can present that to the group. You guys just tape them up on your wall, and now you have a thesaurus wall to refer to. Give them the rest of the time to go through and just clean up their language. And then, of course, if you've got time at the end, author's chair is wonderful. Have them read a before and an after, and just celebrate where writers are using these craft moves and seeing real improvements to their stories. Okay, that's it.